Yes, it's the last. Keep the ball in the sheet. Keep the ball on the ground in the sheet. It's going to be a struggle, sorry.
Right, come on.
Back last night at 9:30, man. This is a fucking sick joke. I've been stitched up to that. Arm burst.
No, take it easy.
5 days.
You got to host somebody else.
34 years.
Have you hosted today, big man?
34 years old. He's fucking age is caught up with him, Derek.
Aye. Right, Kev, take it away.
So obviously the day we'll get started with the sign-up offer from Grosvenor Sport.
No, you need to start with a bit of patter before you go into that.
I want to get that shit out the way first.
Oh, right, is that how we've got?
No, we need to restart the whole thing here. We've not even started.
Right, you get up, you go. Go on.
I can't
take over. Let's see if you've got it. You might need it at some point.
Paul, this is your moment.
No, I don't like it.
No, you're good.
That's the captain's armband.
Go. I've been sent to the stand, you're taking over.
It's the first line, I can't do. You do the first line and I'll take it.
Go, come on.
I'll do a bit of part. You do the first line, I'll do the part.
Let's keep the ball on the ground.
Welcome to keeping the ball on the ground.
Welcome to keeping the ball on the ground. Yes! Last one of the season.
Beautifully said,
How you used to the day, he's rough?
A tad.
Are you, mate?
No, it's rough as him.
When did you get back Sunday?
Aye, it's no bad. I had a wee week. Yeah, whereby.
It seemed to have you a bluttered every day, by the way.
You could be correct. Aye. Well, it's. I'm getting a wee bit older.
Gluttered every day, so you'd probably over the course of a week 14 pints you had.
Aye. By the way, you're right. 2 can Dan. I'll tell you what, I'm getting worse as I get older. What's been nice?
Some of your videos were brilliant.
I can't help myself.
That video of your balls were hanging out towards was too much.
Should you put that up?
No. Some place, by the way.
What, your balls?
Aye, it was sweaty and no, it was tremendous. They were all there, by the way.
Was it sweaty, your balls?
Oh, every day.
Was it roasting there?
You have to air them, didn't you? Every now and again. But I don't think that doesn't go down too well when you're sitting in the middle of a pub. So,
did you have a laugh, eh? Did you the bleaks laugh?
Aye, what do you think? It was great. Honestly, see the build up to the game. It was amazing. I mean, I was there on a Sunday. Travelled through the night, Sunday, Saturday into Sunday. So
on that wee scooter, would you know?
That wee scooter. No sleep. I forgot what I was saying.
Was it Harry and Lloyd Dumb and Dumber on that scooter? That's Shane Durant, innit?
Same, aye.
Any mode of transport I was on just to get there. But the build up to it was fabulous. And on the day, it was sensational.
Was it good, mate?
The atmosphere, second to none. I never made the game. I had my hands up. We were kind of promised a ticket, but it kind of fell through at the end up, and probably just as well for me. I don't think I was in any fit state to attend a football game. But the atmosphere,
all right now,
aye, the atmosphere before it was.
Can you hear them?
It was.
Have you any time in the air
do you know something? I was the boys lost me. That I was way right. I was lost in action. Want to know where I was? Under a 25 stone man, a big guy had fell right and tapping me. I was on the stool, right? And they
never told us about that.
And they were
funny, eh?
So 28 still out there.
So I think it was Dan and Ross came here and they were looking for me because I was there. They're like, "Where's my dad?" And they would get other guys were helping this big guy up, and there I was underneath this guy.
With the budget.
It was tremendous. And do you know the amount of old friends that I met up with was brilliant, and made new friends as well. As you
did
do.
You, right?
Aye, when you get away. Aye, some great guys.
Did you see the old friends? Was it
neighbours
any Frankfurt fans?
No, not so much. No, it was just it was magic. I loved every minute of it.
Were you the boys, Derek?
Aye. Ross come in for Ibiza and Lewis come in with him.
Did he bring his heels?
Aye, he's doing a bit of strapping. So, obviously, Lewis was accompanying his brother. I think it was Scotty Wright that sorted Lewis. Scotty Wright's Lewis's pal anyway. So he was going, it was excellent. And then Darren, he came in with his pals for Tenerife and we met up on the day. I get a wee bit emotional, as you do when you get a bit older.
What, tears?
Oh, I was greeting my eyes out. I was greeting all the time.
Why?
Because I just love my boys and obviously. My nephews were Kyle and Connor were there as well.
Do you know any German?
See if you need a lie down.
Germans? No.
Did I know? Did I know any German?
I thought you met a German.
You know type of German before?
Well, I don't. This was back in my teens, right? So you know that story. Aye.
Did you meet
The big shot putter, by the way.
Right, so you were my beer.
Change the subject.
So you were my beer for 5 days, mate.
I need to be lying down on your couch.
That's been fucked with him. That's been fucked with him, mate.
It's a bit of sensation.
Was it amazing,
What a group
mate?
of boys that really enjoyed it.
Because you're a wee bit, obviously, before you went, you were a wee bit, obviously.
Because they were all so young, mate.
Young,
But
aye.
no, a great group
Brilliant
of boys.
boys.
A lot of open goal fans, by the way. Cammy Smith, what a boy, man. Funny.
Brilliant.
Said I'd give him a shout out.
Who would you say was the player of the tournament?
Cammy Smith.
Was
boy.
he?
Funny. Jack Smith's his brother. Andy Smith's his dad.
Oh, great lad.
Big Andy.
Big
Andy
rebound.
Smith, the
What a
pass
man.
guy.
That was his two
What a
boys that
man.
were there.
Yeah,
Good
he's a
lads.
great lad.
Ray Grant, Peter Grant's boy was there.
Right.
He said that you and Peter were quite pally back in the day.
Aye, people don't
Said you were
don't
some player,
realise
Peter
that.
Grant as well.
They don't realise.
Aye, my brother said he was brilliant today, you know.
Funny, mate. What the
We used to
boys
share
were-
a room with Peter when we went away with Scotland 18s and all that. So things like
Is that where it started?
People, aye,
Mate, one of the boys was asking us to sign. He's played in the leagues. I'll not mention his name. He's played in the leagues, asking us to sign. I said, no, I'm not signing you. I've never seen you play. You need to prove to us your fitness. If you could do a 5K in under 20 minutes, you can come in for pre-season. So he's like, right, fuck it, I'm going to do it. He's not at the club for like 6 months, so he's not played football for a while. Right, fuck it, I'm going to do it. I was like, yes, brilliant, can't wait. So we go to the beach club that day. We're all drinking. I go home early, they stay out. Next morning we wake up, we're all sitting, he goes like that. See that trial, forget it, mate. He says, you're asking me to do a 5K in 19 minutes. It took me fucking 3 years to get up the road last night. I've got fucking no chance of doing a 5K in 19 minutes. But no, they were all good boys, mate, really good
Brilliant,
boys.
You've got a proper come down in there.
Nah, man, right, mate.
You're right, mate.
Back
Ready
on
to
it.
go.
Track
I've
sign
seen this
players a
morning
day,
you were
mate.
ready, fucking getting all the team ready, weren't you? Brilliant, mate.
I think I've got a new signing today as well.
Aye.
Going to meet him after this.
Good one,
So
what
I'll
have you
need
been
to-
chucking?
5 coffees,
What position?
Not telling you.
No, just in
Can't
case it
get
gets
away,
out.
mate, in case
Somebody realises, innit?
So good, mate. Nah, good stag.
And we're all home.
Jack Leach, what a boy as
Safe
well.
and well.
Safe and well.
That's all that
Safe
matters,
and
isn't it?
Aye, well, some of the stories I've
Cal
heard.
Naismith. Cal was there.
Was he there?
News Cafe, we're all about. Cal's at that. Boys, and yous come. What a guy, mate. So I think there's about 6 of us maybe separated from the other group. Cal spotted us. He's like, boys, get in. They had the big fucking booth to themselves. He's like, help yourself, whatever you want. Champagne, vodka.
What a
Go for it.
guy.
Sat and spoke to him for about an hour. Brilliant, man.
That's the thing when you
What
get
a
away
boy,
from
yeah.
them, innit? Everybody just comes together.
Brilliant,
And you just all chill out and have a party.
Marby, I'm too old for that now, Derek.
Oh no, you're never too
Never
old.
too old. Never too old.
You are t-shirt in the pool for it.
Aye.
T-shirt in the full
Fuck
day.
T-shirt in the pool. Fucking
I
kite
keep
out,
saying
not a
I'm going to
problem.
behave myself, but I don't think it's going to happen.
No, it's
I'm
too late
actually a
now,
bad example to my boys, but I don't care.
No, I think you're the opposite. I think that's the way you go to live, innit? So my wee dad.
I seen your dad walking about the strip,
Aye,
the
you're
rucksack,
selling
selling
things,
farts for
weren't
£100.
That video,
Big
you
people in it.
that video you done the last time was brilliant. You still get that brush, William? You still carrying that
The
brush?
queue,
brush in
the
the
queue
bag.
for your dad's rucksack was bigger than the queue for Ocean Beach, mate.
That's like when they used to walk about with the balloons, remember?
Remember the balloons,
balloons? That's what they've replaced the balloons now with him, but you have to pay extra bit if you want there, don't you?
Ah, nuts, man.
That's
Are
what
you
it's
not
like.
going to win? I used to.
I'm
I was trying to go to Paris, sorry, Kev.
Paris?
For the
Who
final,
were?
Champions League final.
Are you?
With who?
Just booked Bella myself.
What?
Just got to go myself.
So
Wait, where
Paris,
did-
Paul? Paris on your own?
I am mine, I'm good. Well,
You can go yourself.
Tom Boyd, didn't it? You and Boyd.
I didn't want to say
Aye.
Tom Boy took me notice.
You got yourself a ticket? You get yourself a ticket?
Got to try to get a ticket
You
earlier.
go
aye.
yourself.
But what experience that would be, wasn't it? Champions League final. But then I'm one of the odd fans going, there's no support the club. And then I'm taking a ticket, do you know what I mean? So I'll probably not go, but...
Hope you get a drink of water when you get in.
What was it?
what was that like?
Did you not get a drink?
Horrendous.
Was it alcohol? No, getting
I'm
soaked?
talking about the guys, Big Ronnie and that had put us up stadium, Stuarty, Blair and my boys. They had a horrendous experience, by the way. First of all, getting held up before getting to the stadium, getting their battery chargers, for the chargers for their phones, took off them, which shouldn't have been done. It was already stated that was allowed. Their water was took off them in the stadium. No, and this is the Frankfurt fans as well. It's the same case. This is what we found out. None of the kiosks were open. If there was one open, no water. The guys were getting into toilets, trying to kind of get tap water. That was stopped as well. I think it was absolutely corrupt with the police. There was a plan put in place, and I think you don't. Well, you were in Seville with Celtic. You don't
family
realise how warm it is, and it was unbelievable, right? So the dehydration that was kicking in was
horrendous, isn't it?
unbelievable. So I think it was done intentionally, right? To be serious for a minute with the police. to quell the fans, both sets of supporters. And, you know, it was dangerous. It was dangerous, it's crazy. Now, these guys, you know, we're not talking about kind of younger guys like yourselves. We're talking older guys, they're 60s, 70s, that were gone there to experience a cup final, a European Cup final, and they had I'm just glad some of them like kind of will come home safely. It's a miracle that nobody's died. So, see UEFA, see all these guys, all these delegates that walk about and all that, and say now they're there to do a job. They weren't doing their job because they must have known that there was an emergency going down. And what I'm talking about emergency was people were struggling badly. Now, you try to tell me they couldn't have called in vans for the surrounding shops, bring in water, had a plan in place. No, it was, they didn't want to know because the big Ronnie, who I was staying with, you know, he's 67, Ronnie, and he tried to speak to a few of them. Didn't want to know. It's bloody dangerous, by it was crazy. So it was, and that was for base supporters.
Why didn't you get away water? What was it? I get alcohol.
What, try to dehydrate you or something? I don't know, try to...
Can you imagine that? You know, and everybody, both said, we were all drinking all day up to it.
Shambles, mate.
So when you get to the game, you want to watch your football, you want to enjoy it, but you need water. You know, you need to hydrate yourself. It was crazy. It was horrendous. So even being held up before you're getting to the stadium, you get into the stadium, you can't even get a drink of water. So UEFA, you know, hang your head in shame. You're an absolute nightmare, mate.
So you'd have got a battery, your dildo taken off you.
But do you know something? I'm a dafty and
I thought you were going to say I'm a dildo.
Aye, could be that as well. I forgot my phone, so I'm in Seville without a phone.
Oh mate, that's my worst nightmare.
I know. So the guys' phones were running out of battery, you know, and that's why it was supposedly okay that they could take these with them. Just because you need to contact people. You know, it was horrendous. So it was.
Nightmare. Right, so when are you going to?
Hopefully the end of June.
Where are you going, big man?
I don't know, fancy Turkey.
You said that last time, that'd be good, mate.
For the 4 boys?
Keep them all entertained, so tried a few companies, hopefully. Waiting on a passport, try to see if
You're desperate to save any company can sort of it, yeah?
No.
That's your go-to,
I've no booked a holiday for a long time, so try to book a holiday is a new experience for me. It's quite
When's the last time you were away?
Oh, about 5 years ago.
What's that?
Come on, big man, you got to get away.
No, that's life's about
get away, and chilling.
No, just, listen, what is the word holiday? Means you go somewhere and enjoy yourself and relax.
With the
way you get fucking 4 boys. It's not a holiday.
I had 3. It's like, hey.
All-inclusive kids clubs, mate.
They're white, they're freckly, and they're blonde hair. Fucking sun cream every 10 minutes. It's not a holiday. But now they're ready, so we're going to go and try to get a passport appointment to get a passport, because my passport's expired, but I've got one, so no.
Get yourself away for a year.
Couple
of weeks, 10 days.
Try and get yourself away for a year if you can, big man.
Hopefully you'll be fucking winning. Get yourself away for a year. Fucking hell. I've been trying to leave this show for 2 years. Keep bringing me back here. The viewing's dead, kept on. So that's it.
Good.
But wait to St Andrews tomorrow.
Doesn't count.
Wedding anniversary day, 10 years.
Imagine what you two are going to get up to.
I'll tell you what we are getting up to. Knee deep.
Noise complaints.
2 nights. 2 nights. Heavy.
That'll be wild.
She wants a wee boy and I want a baby. So we're going to wee Andrew
Can
on the
we
way.
make announcements?
What's that?
My boy's going to be a daddy.
Congratulations,
Lewis?
No way.
I've seen that.
Lewis is going to be a daddy.
Yes, congratulations.
I'm going to be a granddad. Second time.
It was Carol who put the picture up on Facebook, wasn't it? She put it up, mate. Lewis Mrs. is
the best I've seen.
A darling, man.
Is she?
That'll be my second
grandchild.
So I'm not so chuffed. I tell you what, he'll be a good dad. He will. He actually should be my dad. So he should. The way
he sends money.
In fact, he looked after me nearby.
And it did he?
So he did. So.
Oh, that's amazing.
First
open goal grandkid, I think.
Surprised.
First open goal grandkid.
Oh, amazing.
What a surprise it was for me. And it was after it was on Saturday night, we were up in Benavice, on the Costa del Sol, and he just gave us a wee FaceTime, and I was sitting having a couple of beers.
Emotional.
I'm greeting all the time.
I like you. Can you greet today?
Surely you put your balls away when you got that news.
Absolutely. I'll get emotional. It's been pretty emotional.
What a time for you, mate.
It's been magic.
Pundit of the year as well.
Pundit of the year. We gave you that on the show. I don't know if you watched it, but you got Pundit of the year.
I might start greeting.
No, I don't want you to greet today. I'm not greeting at the boys. That's one of them. And it got to be.
I think I'll greet.
Great.
Right, what
obviously.
You moving the show on?
Aye, sorry, I should have done that before you actually told me to do that there. But obviously, lads, going to be a bit more serious stuff, going to the football. Scottish Cup finals, signed Saturday. I'm going to put it to you, big man.
Didn't watch it.
Your ex-team?
No.
Two ex-teams.
Going to put it to you. Two ex-club. I mean, it's also almost.
I would like to have watched it, but I was away. I went and watched Sunderland with my boy. Like,
I seen you doing that.
Can I say I was half watching Sunderland as well?
There, right? I'm going to say this right now, right? And people might take this the wrong way.
You were great. Were you great?
No.
You upset?
No.
That there, right, was the best football experience as a fan I've ever had.
Player final?
I swear to God. I went to the Celtic getting the cup against Motherwell, and that was good. But see that on Saturday, Sunderland getting promoted.
What? See, if you wanted to know about League One player final, mate, I would have told you about it.
Kevin, were you there?
Aye, but you only had like 20,000 people.
No, places for 80,000.
I went to Wembley. Went to Wembley with my
I would have told you what the dressing room's looked like 3 times.
I went to...
Hold on a minute, because I know how good the atmosphere, because my pal Sharpie, big Sunderland man, my time down there, and he sent us a couple of videos, and it looked amazing.
Derek, it was incredible.
That thing he was doing himself in the video was...
You know how we were at Wembley? You know how we were at Hampden on Thursday, doing that wee bit of stuff?
Aye.
And we were like, oh, how good is it to play at Hampden? See Wembley. That's fucking next level stuff.
Good, mate.
It is next level.
He's here.
The third time's even better. First time's alright, the third time's the best though.
Did we still talk about League One football?
See when you did it 3 times.
Are we still talking about League One football?
When you did it 3 times though, mate, it's unbelievable. I know you enjoyed it when you did it in the crowd. See when you're actually on the pitch, it's brilliant.
See that League One football? Is that even a thing we are to talk about on here?
See on your pitch, you can see all you enjoying yourself. It's good.
What is it?
You're happy for you.
50,000 Sunderland fans. I swear to God. You know what got me? Just pure love and passion for their club.
I get that. I get that big time.
It was amazing.
Sunderland fans.
I was emotional.
Did the big fire things go off at the start again? No, seriously, that's brilliant.
Mate, honestly, the noise they fucking...
Was the atmosphere, Kev, it made it?
Paul, honestly, if you ever get a chance to go to Wembley and watch a game...
He's done something.
In my time, it was a rock and roll.
I think Neil needs like massive praise, because he went in there and people were like, oh, why we got this guy? Because there was talk of Roy Keane coming back. Other guys, he's come in there, I think he lost 1 game in about 17 or something.
So he's
What has he done?
I don't know.
Has he
I don't know
changed
what
it?
he's done. I don't think he's changed too much. I think he just
players playing for him.
Players
He's got that knack. He's a good coach, like Neil, but he's got a likeability factor. I always talk about.
See if he didn't hit a certain distance.
He was always.
See what you were saying there. See what you were saying there.
He was like that as a player as well. He was a hardy.
What you're saying there. See on reflection of the game Saturday, how fucking hard they worked off the ball. See that boy Patrick Roberts, obviously he was at Celtic. He's there. I think he's only come to the end of the season. What a player he is.
He's brought him back in, I heard.
Listen, what a player that boy is.
Yeah.
Caviar.
See, that game was on the back. That was in the background while I was watching the Rangers game. So I kind of knew the result.
Big Rod Stewart, didn't he do a great deal? He does, when he gets the ball and he does things very well.
Aye. But you have had the same career?
I know, Hearts, Rangers,
Sunderland.
Aye.
No, it was amazing, but so I couldn't watch the cup final, but by all accounts it was no worth watching. Is that right, Paul?
No, listen, the Scottish Cup final is always worth watching. Disappointed you've said that. Disappointed you've said that. No, not at all. Listen, it was I'll be honest, if Andy was sitting here I would probably not say this, but I was really, really disappointed with Hearts.
Why was Andy not starting?
He's always been injured, didn't he? They don't have a wee injection on Thursday.
Do you know something? And I would have started him because I thought they started the wee boy Devlin. Andy's been... and that's what I'm saying, Andy's been playing well. I says the week before it, he was top dog.
So Andy's not just one game, Andy's been good for a while.
Yes,
that's
what I'm saying. But when I watched him against Rangers, I thought he was outstanding. There you go. And I'm not just saying it because he's on this show.
A lot of people think because we'll say it because he sits with us.
No,
but when you're watching football,
and
you can see it. Andy's popped up with some good goals this year.
That was it, guys. At Motherwell game, he was different gravy. So he was unbelievable.
But that was the game before the cup final, right?
And then it was the Rangers. I saw him.
Played Rangers.
Rangers, that's right. But
he missed
it.
It was a Motherwell game. It was a Motherwell game. Coming back to me, I thought he would have been a starter.
So what did Hearts?
No day.
What did they no day? Why were they so flat?
I don't know. Obviously, you need to give credit to Rangers. Obviously,
couldn't get it to Sims enough.
They get a chance there. They get a chance in the first. I think it was first couple of minutes when the boy Sims hits the post.
When
McFadden said they should have maybe went with left foot. I mean, I don't know.
He was stretching, he was going at full
6.5
pelt and all that. They're saying he should have went with his left, but he's right footed. He's trying to get closer.
I don't know. They just...
So did Rangers batter them? Like?
Didn't they batter them? They just started to control it in the second half.
They took care of the game,
and Rangers had the chances. Gordon,
That's save.
As per usual, wasn't it? Unbelievable. And I thought, see, in a way I went, wow, this might go to penalties. You know, and that was in the back of my head. But Rangers just showed their character, controlled the game, and then in extra time went to another level. So they did, and they just looked a class apart.
No, they did.
Didn't
They did. It looked too good for them.
Again, Rangers fitness is
frightening. I don't know how they're doing this.
Incredible. Wednesday and then go and do that again.
I don't know.
The mentality as well.
I don't know where that's coming with. That's what I'm saying. The character. You know, because it's so easy. You know, you kind of feel a wee bit sorry for yourself, but they dug deep again. But you're right, it's the fitness. Where does
that come from?
Alec Neil's been taking them into that.
Where does that come from in terms of, like, you're talking about the end of the season, you've got no time, you've got games Saturday, Thursday for the longer time Rangers had that. There's no time to do fitness in between, so where does that come from?
I think they've just got athletes, isn't they? You look at John Lundstrom, he's just a natural athlete, isn't he?
Bassey
again,
another man of match performance.
Phenomenal.
In Saturday,
couple of runs.
Absolutely incredible.
I don't run a winger would do. He's just get better and better and better as the season.
Confidence is growing.
Did he? Am I right in saying it was when Broncos actually put him in the team, or was he playing before with Gerrard?
He wasn't playing as much under Gerrard.
He's done some job, hasn't he?
He's like a kind of utility player. He was in and out.
I don't honestly, looking at him after the Europa League final and that, 2 man of the match performances, I can't see how
Rangers had him.
English teams won't come in for him right now.
By the way, much would you pay for?
When you're looking at Patterson sort of going for 12 to 16 million, right? You look at Bassey getting man of the match in the Europa League final.
Yeah, I think you're talking 25, 30 million, aren't you?
Got to be
easy 20 million because
one, he's an athlete.
They should Scottish company
showed his ability. See what I liked when he came into the side? He's got good delivery. We all talk about Barisic, and that's why probably Barisic maybe edged it a little bit. But he's got good delivery as well, so he has. So he just ticks all the boxes.
He's so aggressive, isn't
he?
It's everything you want in a
you could put your best player up against him to get by him, and you know that you're not getting by him. He's physical. He puts his body in good positions.
He enjoys it as well, Kev. You can see that he enjoys that.
And the more he keeps doing what he's doing, the bit he's 22 years old.
How was Suter? Suter was excellent. So would that be Rangers?
By the way,
going to leave in it. Suter
was outstanding. Was he? Anytime Rangers put a ball in the box, it looked as if they're going to create something. Suter bang.
What about winning the ball though? He drives with the ball, not bypass.
I was watching, was it in the warm-up? Watching where it was the week before, it was just in the warm-up I was watching, and just the way he sings that ball.
He's got a lovely bit of passing.
You just hope he stays fit, didn't you?
But see if he stays fit, what a player he is.
Well, Goldson's gone now.
Aye.
I think we knew that just after in January.
It's not a financial thing, because Rangers can offer decent wage. He clearly wants to get back down the road for whatever reason that may be, but...
That's fine.
And Goals has been a great servant to Rangers, but when you've got a ready-made replacement coming in, possibly I think a better player coming in.
And then if there is any issues, you can always look at Bassey. You can always bring him in there, and I think that
he'll play there next year. So if he does stay at Rangers, he'll play left centre back for the full season next year.
Suter right, Bassey left.
Again, get that versatility, hasn't he? He can play left back, or he can play in one.
I'd play Bassey left back.
Would you, mate?
I just
think. So would that. So do you know? So would that at the minute.
He's just so much going forward. He's just so much going forward. Unless you've got another left back in, but I think even in the final, it was amazing for Rangers, and I actually stopped probably Frankfurt with a lot of their chances. But I think him going forward. I mean, fullbacks now is one of the most important positions. Do you know what I mean? The amount of assists you see Trent Roberts not getting, that's sort of where a lot of your.
But look at Celtic, the team that concedes the less wins the league. Usually. I'm going spine in my team. I'm putting Bassey.
What about?
That's all the opinions, mate.
So
you want to attack? I want
to. Am I saying that Gerrard signed Suter?
Yeah.
Aye.
No.
Van Bronckhorst.
Was it Van Bronckhorst? Aye.
It has January, wasn't it?
Just wasn't too sure. That's good signing.
And if you remember he got the amount of abuse that Suter got for the Hearts fans when he first came. But by the way, and he just shrugged it off.
I was there that game.
That's the mentality you need if you're going to go play for Rangers.
Shrugged it off, played on. And you know, in the cup final, you know, he's gone to Rangers obviously, and he put in that performance.
He was still going for
It's been so easy for him to just, what can I go?
Just got on you go.
Aye.
Nothing you.
But no, he was going to show what he's all about. And he did. So he did. He was
Proper
different class, so he was.
Dale, what do you think this leaves Hearts' season? It's still a great season, isn't it?
Still a great season.
Tremendous season.
Aye.
Really
Absolutely.
good. He
Hearts
did
have
get
been
massive
excellent.
credit, mate.
Got promoted, finished third in the league,
Robin
guaranteeing
Nielsen,
themselves European football after Christmas.
And playing in a
Group
good
stages.
style as well, Kevin.
Decent player, great. I think their transfer window at the beginning they were
Amazing, wasn't it?
Aye, bringing in Barry Mackay when they did was genius. There's a couple, obviously. There's one or two Hearts fans not convinced because when Hearts hear a bad performance, there's one or two that seem to have a go for Robbie. But sometimes, as a manager, you don't get it right. Think of the bigger picture. The bigger picture is, what was our goals this season? I bet their goal wasn't to finish third.
Drink?
Coming up for the championship.
I see what you're saying.
I get what you're saying. You're saying in terms of
I always think
budget,
Hearts should be there.
budget money they would have had, Hearts should be up there. I
Yeah.
get that, but when you've got to come up for the championship and you've got to sign a few players and get them to buy into what you're doing straight away, you're probably saying we finish top 6 this season, have a better season. Hibs, that'll be a good season. But to finish third, blow the rest out the water. I think it's an
All his experienced players that he signed, they've been excellent, man. Kingsley, Gordon, Andy, Boyce, Broyes, Robbie Nielsen have brought in.
Is he
I can imagine that's a good dressing room as well.
Aye.
Isn't it?
It's got a good
That's
mix,
shout.
isn't it?
Yeah. Gordon's massive.
Isn't
Some of the saves he's made across the course of the season.
phenomenal.
Excellent. Brilliant.
Even the loans that he's brought in, Cochrane, the wee boy for Brighton, he's came in. Not been outstanding, but came in and played
Sims has been good,
Sims, another loan. His loans have
Big
been
Sims
really
been
good.
very good.
Yeah. Woodburn
They
started
need to
well,
keep
didn't
him.
he?
They need to keep that boy.
Sims is good, isn't he?
Sims is, if I was Sims, I'm looking at it. I think go back to Hearts and play for
He's
another year. His development will come
Kev,
on.
he's another one that's getting better and better.
Strong,
and better.
Derek.
He's
Very
I'm gonna
strong.
say an animal, but he's
Aye.
getting better. He makes good runs, clever runs as well.
I like you. You've said it before in here. A lot of teams want to play too much football. See with Hearts, they can mix it up because of Sims. They can play, but when teams come in, they just
And
put
Sims
some
isn't
ball
a
down the
target
side.
man, like by any
He
stretch
runs
of
the channels
imagination,
also,
but
doesn't he?
if
But
it
gives
needs
you
to
that
go,
option.
he can make things a wee bit difficult for centre halves, and that's all you're after.
How do you think I'm hosting it today, alright?
Brilliant.
Good, you're really good.
Aye,
So obviously what I asked you about Hearts.
The talking couch, brilliant man.
He can have
Talking cake and singing kettle.
Do you go back? Is it a recliner? Do you go back? Can you push him back, please, Kev?
Yeah,
See-
man.
No, wait, go, Kev. Put the recliner on.
Go it slow, go it slow.
Oh, good abs.
Do you need to sit that?
No, you need to steal it after the full show.
Oh, hey, I tell you,
Hey,
whoa.
you
Can you
That's
still
fucking solid, by the way.
Keep it that.
What's in
Now
the
you go-
book?
Put the legs up.
Right.
Sometimes the legs go up on the couch as
You were
well.
up last night, you man. No, so listen, I'm going to go back to the hosting. Sorry for the wee delay there.
That's it.
Dale, when
You can actually buy this couch for 600. Is it DFS have got a sale on just now, so use the hashtag Slaney10 for 10% off your next DFS couch.
there you go, you can host it. Right, so what I was saying there is, right, we talk about Hearts' season being successful. Now, there's a wee debate sort of brewing about Scotland. Is Rangers' season successful, obviously, because they never won sort of the league? That's the main, obviously, thing for South Rangers. Been a great run in, obviously, Europe. I'm really, really struggling to get an into here.
No, because I think it has been a
So
success.
I think so as well. But I think somebody here said it wasn't sure
You
of
know,
it, but I'll just let you
of course we all wanted the title, but we ran
Who's that, me?
circuit close.
No, I said the lost the Scottish Cup
We've
final.
got
Wasn't a
a
success.
European final, which
No,
was
100%.
amazing. So it was just, and they get beaten penalty kicks. It's a sore one, but just to be there on the journey, it was magic. But if they hadn't won the Scottish Cup final, it would have been a disappointment. But they dug deep again. Character, you're saying the fitness as well, everything. So I think it's been a successful season, and hopefully, there'll be comings and goings, and they'll be able to kick on. There'll be a few coming in.
Do you think they will? Do you think like your Golson, Ramsey, McGregor, Davis, do you think they'll now depart Rangers?
Aye.
Depart. Like it.
Depart the scene.
Neil Roof might be departing as well.
Why would you get rid of Stephen Davis? I've seen. I
But
don't know.
he doesn't play
If
on
Stephen
this.
Davis signs for Motherwell, I'm quitting the. Please,
No,
Stephen
no,
Davis,
that's
do not sign for.
That's the end of Scottish
Aye.
football if that happens.
But
I
Steve
couldn't watch
Davis,
That's the
him.
end, they
I
should
couldn't watch
retire
him
it.
try to win second balls and that, mate.
but see,
Didn't do it.
see his age,
Doesn't play for Broomhill,
Aye.
you get hundreds of the
Aye.
ball, mate. I promise you.
But Si, he's got
got
to
to
play.
come to Broomhill.
He's at an age now that he wants to. He should be playing.
He'll not be
If he-
playing at Motherwell, that's
and
for
he's
sure.
not. He's not going to be. It looks as
where
if he's
he's been
not going to
linked
be
to go
playing
to?
at
I've
Rangers.
seen Motherwell. I've seen
I
Pat
saw
Thistle
it
as
as well.
well.
No.
I seen that. Aye.
Just got rid of Davy and quit.
Would you not
Do
give
you
him another year at
want
Rangers?
to know, come into my mind right away when I saw that? I was like, Davy Cooper. That's what happened with Coop. As soon as comes
Aye,
in.
we know you pulled Souness
Think-
up. how it wasn't even in the fucking script. Thanks for that.
But, you know, imagine getting rid of Davy Cooper. Crazy. You know, and Steve Davis a top player, but he's still got a lot to offer. But will he be in a starting 11 for Rangers under Van Bronckhorst? I don't think so.
No, he's not got. He's not played, has he?
So he needs to. So I think he'll be away as well. You're right, Slen.
Squad player, definitely.
And that's so important.
Somebody around the dressing room.
I would be able to start
100%, because you're going to lose a big character in Goldson.
Yeah.
McGregor, maybe.
Is McGregor retire?
I don't think he will.
Do you know?
No, I don't think he will.
I always think, why would he? What else is he going to do?
Aye.
Well, even if he was a number 2, just to hang about now.
He's no struggling side.
Maybe he'll work with the goalies in the back. Maybe he'll get into coaching and the staff. You know, who knows? You know what I mean? We're not privy to all that, but I think it you saw at the end of the game. I thought it was his last game. I thought that was it.
Supposedly put a bid in for Tommy Sheridan, isn't it? From playing goals.
No, he's unsure on it, but
he's not sure just now.
No, he's not.
So no, successful season. That's still, I think, for
you, Kev?
For Rangers. I
think next Teddy Bear.
I think it's
Teddy Bear.
I think it's been a successful season because they lost the league by what, a couple of points?
6 points, aye.
6, was it 6?
6 points.
6 points. 4.
Was it 4?
4.
Hey.
Might want to write that down next time you're hosting it.
Semi-final of the League Cup. Final Europa League.
2 games.
Aye.
It's like they won a million miles off it.
Aye.
And I think in football, when you are going toe-to-toe with somebody like Celtic and Rangers, the way they do it, the way Man City and Liverpool have been doing it, at some point in the season you're going to have a blip. You just need to make sure that blip is just a one-off. But unfortunately, Rangers just after January had a 2-3 week blip. And ultimately that's what's cost them the title. So you learn from that, Simon. Next year they'll come back stronger. I think they'll let the guys go that we're talked about. I wouldn't say there'll be a war chest there, but I think there'll be finance available to try and make sure that they have the sufficient bodies to try and challenge to get into the Champions League. Risk reward. Are you willing to gamble a few million quid to guarantee yourself the big pot of the Champions League? I think Rangers is a must. And I don't think they need to add too many, because you've got Suter coming in and replace Goldson. Bassey, you're going to do well to hold on to him, because guys like Gerrard, I know Villa's been linked with Tarkowski for Burnley because he's always in a free transfer.
Double his wage.
120 grand a week.
James Tarkowski. 20 grand a week.
So there's somebody doing there.
120 grand a week.
There's somebody doing there.
Mbappe's deal.
Sorry, I think Bassey will stay. I don't think Bassey.
6 months there to Christmas.
I think he's in a happy place. I think he's got that rapport with the Rangers fans. Bassey,
brilliant.
He has, and you just can see he's happy. And for the next couple of years, he's still developing. Believe it or not. And it'll come. That'll come. The money will come. You know. So I think he'd be probably better advised just to stay there the next year or two.
It's a tough one, that. The money thing. Because you're saying it, the money, and then he's saying it'll come. Injuries can happen, things can happen, you might never get it. So it's the difficult decision. Do you take the money now, set yourself up for life, and hopefully things work out, or do you just wait for that big money move? And
that's a football.
That's a football. Right, we're looking at the season overall.
Overall, Paul.
How do you think the season's been in Scottish football?
Unbelievable, incredible. At times, but at the start of the season I thought it was the strongest Scottish league in a long time. I disagree with that. I disagree with myself now for that. Don't think it was. I mean, you look at Aberdeen, Hibs and stuff. No good enough this season. So from that point of view, I disagree with myself, as I said. But
are you asking a question here, or are you answering?
Both. He's being rhetorical.
Asking myself and then answering that.
That's a talent in itself.
Didn't mean I was doing it, but I just
feel it's just a leave and you can just do it all.
Just keep talking myself.
Ask and answer.
I think it's awkward, you can give me back.
What's the question?
So the question was, I think it has been a great season for Scottish football, really. Day. Your new Simon, 2022, and you've got potentially two Scottish clubs in the Champions League. The coefficient of points are through the roof.
Through the roof.
Amazing. We're back in the map, innit?
So what's the question?
What is the question?
The question is, was it a good season, which you've answered 3 or 4 or 5 times? Come back on yourself and answer that again. So the next question, we'll move swiftly on to, how did it differ from what you expected at the start of the season? I suppose you've answered that again 300 times. We'll go to that one.
Well, because you look at Hibs and Hibs. And Aberdeen.
He's already said that.
You're thinking top 6, so that's how it's been totally different. Livingston, breath of fresh air. I've loved watching them throughout the season. Motherwell getting into top 6, last kick of the ball at Livingston. Different class. What about Big Lammy?
Back at Motherwell.
Aye, see that? How does that go?
He's done the same as him, hasn't he? He's fell out with his went back on his own.
Who's Lammy?
Signed a
Who's Lammy?
pre-contract.
Boys in Motherwell, set
I
him.
think I keep the show.
He signed a pre-contract with
Remember
Dundee.
the French and seen us?
Kev, he signed a pre-contract and
right.
he's changed his mind. He's still staying with Motherwell, but Motherwell have been top 6. Livingston playing it as well as they have. But the big one, well, you got to get back to Aberdeen and Hibs. I mean, they were woeful. They were woeful.
They've had really poor seasons there.
Yeah.
And I think they both clubs, I think I can start to smell it's coming for the tap. That's all I'll say on that.
I'd agree with you, Paul.
Chris Mueller, Hibs' all-time record.
10 grand a week, I heard.
Wage.
I heard he was on 10 grand a week.
He did do it.
I did
For that
well.
wage, he done great.
He robbed the club of that.
10 grand a week, is that what the rumours are right?
I think so, mate.
Mate, I swear to God, he's went in there, pulled Ron Gordon's pants down, right? Gives his boys a wee tickle and then put him back up and says, thanks very much.
That sounds no bad.
That sounds like him in Seville. That sounds like him in Seville.
Aberdeen chairman, Aberdeen chairman
You were
David
getting me going there a minute.
He's the same. Why don't you come in and bring a style of football to Aberdeen? What we got? What we got?
No, it's a Leicester team. It's a Leicester team.
What the fuck is that?
Where are you going there? What have you been up to?
What is that?
He's put
Put it into the white collar for the fucking vicar of Dibley, look at you.
Hey, you slaughtered for the week one. Bring back the black one.
So that's the cheesecloth.
Mate, what? There's so many stains on that.
I know. Do you know what that is?
No, the stains, it's
Is
the
it?
dandruff.
Why are you putting deodorant on your stomach?
It's the
Belly
dandruff.
button rotten.
It's the dandruff on me, I can tell them. You stop flicking it on me.
Yeah. Tidy up, get this.
Nah, you're looking great, mate.
Thanks,
You're looking
Simon.
great. Right, what did you see? Did we see Celtic winning at the start of the season?
No.
No.
You said Jets.
Listen, I did say aye, but...
Well, you're dafty done.
I did sense it, but that's maybe coming from a Celtic point of view, something I mean.
Yeah.
But none of us did. You couldn't be that squad of players that Anne's recruited, so that was a surprise, wasn't it? Incredible job there. St Johnstone,
Struggling.
did you see that?
Yes.
He said top 3.
No, but remember
He
what I
did
said
that,
to him.
he
When
said
I
that.
said if they kept the squad, they lost 4 of the best players.
Did they lose
Always
four?
got his-
Who was the 4?
Kerr.
McCann.
McCart.
No, McCann's
McCann.
been there.
He's still
Boy in the
there.
middle.
No, me McCann went down
Melamed
back.
up front.
How many goals did Melman score last season?
Quite a few.
Quite a few. And who's the 4th?
The 4th was there is a 4th. It was Roddy Grant. Roddy Grant up front.
Roddy Grant.
Lost Roddy
Roddy
Grant
Grant.
as well. But by the way, I need to say as well, right? We sat and watched the St Johnstone. Inverness looked fucked. How do you need to win 6 games to get up? They had to
That's
play a
shocking,
double
Si,
header
shocking.
against Thistle,
double header
against Arbroath, and then a double
It should
header.
just be
It'd
one game.
game.
It should just be one game.
Crap.
Aye,
Mate,
it's
what
should be
chance
a-
have they got,
it's
man?
Sunday,
Second
Has St Johnstone need to play
second
2?
bottom,
After a full
two-legged
season.
Season.
Aye.
It's dropped.
Makes no sense. Every other league's second bottom plays 4th,
Aye.
second and third play each other.
They need to-
But for
they
some
need
reason,
to-
you need to play 6 games to get
We
up.
need to
Why-
review that. So they do.
Derek, on that, why is it? Why do you think the FA want to make it so hard for the team coming up?
I've not
Because see on
It's-
reflection, right? I look at it and think, right, St Johnstone won 2 cups last year, amazing. What Inverness have as a crowd, and what St Johnstone have as a crowd?
You couldn't have filmed my house with it.
The
both
point
of
is that whether one comes up, one comes down, it's really not making a huge difference to the league. Like, there's teams in that championship will have better supporting clubs than some that's in there. So why are they making it so difficult for these teams? It's as if they don't want them in there.
And you heard Dodsey saying he just wanted to get to that game. It's as if like, the first one is. It's not a waste of time, but it's like we don't need it. He's actually saying we just need the 1-half game.
Yeah.
Just go and play it. And sometimes why not it has got to be a neutral venue.
Ruins it,
You're
doesn't it?
right.
It's
I
a
think
Whoever's made that decision has been sitting with their
It needs
head
to be
in your
reviewed.
dad's bag.
It needs to be looked at.
I don't
Well,
mind
usually
it.
that wakes you up, but it's
I don't mind the playoff, but the playoff should be like they do in the further down the leagues, where the St Johnstone go in with the other 3.
100%.
So St Johnstone would play like
2
six-
semi-finals and a final.
No,
That's it.
fourth.
4th,
And then second play third, and then the winners play each other in the final. That's how it should
One
be.
game each. None of this.
It's
Yeah.
fucking 6 games. And then
daft.
the games can go to extra time and penalties.
Did you see that because of the split, some teams actually finished ahead?
You said
Aye, that always is.
so you're just going to talk
That's
off
like-
script.
Sorry, just want to say that.
Well, you're ahead of it.
Innit? What else Dundee going? Didn't see that happening at the start of the season.
I think.
It's not a big, massive shock,
No,
is
it's
it?
not a
No,
shock.
it's not a shock because obviously they'd be one of the relegation favourites. I think I called.
I think everyone said Ross County, didn't
I
they?
think I said.
Well, they made a
Dundee United,
mistake.
maybe.
The reason they went down as well, I think they shouldn't have let McPake go at that time. He should have been given.
I'm
to the end
curious,
of the
Derek, to see McPake's points to games ratio
season. With McGee.
compared. No, McGee has a bit better. McPake's a bit better than McGee. But was it enough to keep them up.
No, but do you know what? I don't even listen.
Do you know what I mean?
Need for change. It was change for change's sake. Didn't get it. And it did look like an old pals act, didn't it? For the outside looking in. However, you try to dress it up and all that. That's what it looks like. And there was no.
You're still dressing up, no?
They had a wee outside chance of staying up, and I think, you know, with that, we let McPake go. I don't think it done them any favours. And with a 6-game ban. I mean, come on.
It's mad, isn't it?
What
do you think?
I don't think when they took that appointment on that they realised he had a 6-game ban.
Do you think they were just trying to save on the energy costs? That's why they knew he would turn the heating
I
off.
don't know.
He must
Save a
do
bit of
the
money.
due diligence and look into it and know what his record is, you know, and when he comes back he is going to be banned. It was just daft. So it was. So that's how...
They Dundee fans must be fuming, man.
Aye.
Fuming.
Who's the favourite for Dundee now?
Jack Ross and Sean Maloney.
Is it?
Jack Ross wasn't a job and you sat James McPake. Why do you know he was going to get him in?
I know.
Makes no sense
my God.
at all.
Jack Ross.
It makes no sense.
Top manager.
Jack Ross would be a good appointment.
Jack Ross would be an unbelievable appointment for
manager.
Dundee. Unbelievable.
Straight back up, there you go.
Right?
Under him, aye.
Aye.
He's that good, aye. Actually, I mean, talking about Jack Ross, that was one of the worst decisions he's seen. He sacked him. For me.
Hibs 100%.
Aye.
100%. They finished.
Especially was it a week before the cup final?
Yeah.
Aye.
Here's another bold prediction again, made by St Johnstone. I'm the type of punt that puts his cards on the table, doesn't just sitting on the
fence.
Hey, here you go.
Cove and Queen's Park will finish in the playoffs of the Championship next year.
I asked you that question a couple of weeks, saying with the finance that they've got in the back and how bad the Championship was this year in terms of quality. I think if anybody backs their team quite well, next year they've got a chance. Derek, you obviously see more of the Championship football than we do. What do you think?
Aye, see, before I get to that, I was just thinking back. I made a prediction at the start of the season about Aberdeen. Aberdeen would have been bottom 6.
So you did.
Remember that? Just because we were just talking about that, I was just thinking, you know, talking
That's
about
why I
predictions.
funded it, young man.
Aye,
Well
I remember
done,
that
Derek.
because
What was it? Why was it you thought it?
I just thought we bringing Stephen Glass in. I don't think it was the right appointment. You know, there was plenty of good managers. There you go. And we were talking about, and obviously Jack Ross was in. I think he was in a job at that time. There's a lot of good managers out there, experienced managers for a job like that. Then you get to, and I'm not having a go at him because he got his opportunity, but for a job like that, you need experience.
You should always get the jobs on the back of Dean Mill somewhere else.
Yes,
absolutely.
Aberdeen,
and again,
Hearts.
it looked like just to go at it, you know, because obviously maybe he's got a friendship with the chairman. I mean, that doesn't sit well. Sorry, maybe you, Kev.
Saying about that, you usually watch more Championship games through your work with the radio and stuff.
Does he work with the radio? He never mentions it.
No,
He's not mentioned a while back.
No.
You could be moving on for
there.
there.
Bring that up, will we? No, let's leave it today. No, so anyway, Cove, Queen's Park coming up. They're probably money to burn, especially Queen's Park. Championship this year, lacking in a bit of quality, or do you think it's been all right? Because the games that I've seen,
Friday nights.
my God,
But you know,
I'm not convinced that it was
right. Well, because I've got a difference of opinion because
That's why I'm asking.
Championship.
because when I watch most of the games throughout the season,
You better pull him.
I enjoy it because
I
it's
like
not too tactical. I think it's two teams that go at each other, and it makes for me an entertaining game. It does.
Don't know how you've got to come
and
back to
sometimes
this.
He's gonna
you get.
apologise, he's
rubbing his chin back.
I'm just getting my honest
And
opinion.
that's because and that's what I'm saying. I've watched numerous games.
Much
so
more than
that's-
you have. Is that what you've watched.
No,
much
but
more
you
than
get the odd
He's still
Friday.
rubbing the chin now. I don't know if he's
Good games.
Listen,
More
you've got
often
him
than
on the
not.
road.
Well, say, Kev, more often than not,
Probably
I
short
see a
thing.
good game of football.
Right, so more often than not, you shit down a minute. More often than not, what he saw has been good. More often than not, what I saw
and a Friday.
wasn't great.
Right.
So
Is that every
Difference of
Friday
opinion.
night? Have you watched every Friday night game?
some nights
so
some nights I've just turned it
Turned it
up.
up, aye.
See, the playoff games were tough to watch.
Sat on the
The
telly and watched the
playoff
couch instead
the
of.
playoff games were tough to watch. I don't know what one it was.
But
I
you're
watched
never
one night.
Playoffs are always tense, though.
Of course
They're
it
always
is.
tense.
It's like semi-final.
Right, St Johnstone, will they kick on next year?
You should tell us.
You
No,
do
yeah,
us.
They need to stick with calm.
You
games.
tell us what St Johnstone's got to do because you told us what they weren't got to do last year.
Do you know what he done to it? So here's my thinking. He kept the formation even though he lost key players. And remember, he told us at the start that wasn't exactly how he seen St Johnstone play.
Yeah.
I think this summer they'll go away for the 3 at the back. They'll go to a 4 at the back, and he'll turn it around next year.
Check this out. This could be the kick on they needed, wasn't it?
I think he felt he had to play 3 at the back because they were so successful last year with But when you lose like your captain, who is a big part of that 3 at the back, maybe he should have just went, right, I'm going to go back to my beliefs at the start, go with the 4, and I think he'll do that this year.
He's got a lot of work to do, hasn't he?
Great, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Simon, quick question on you as a coach, obviously on that point you just gave there. Start the season next week, start the season with Broomhill Magic, things are going great. I get a lot, touch wood you don't, but you get a lot of injuries. And the personnel doesn't maybe quite fit what you want to do. Would you change?
Yeah, you need to change it.
Aye. Because obviously I've had this conversation with you before, and you said that I'd rather lose trying to do the right thing.
Yeah.
Aye.
I hate playing players at position. I don't think any player enjoys playing in position.
No, they don't. Of course they don't. But I like that. That was spot.
Get that, wasn't it?
Bang on the money.
Right, we've talked about enough about Broomhill. We're here to talk about the Premier League this year. Dundee, we said that. Dundee manager Jamie Pitt, good appointment for Dunfermline, absolutely.
You said to us, like, keep yourself in the game, don't go away or whatever, and I think this is the perfect role for him.
Yeah.
And I think that's what Dunfermline need as well. So a young fresh manager. I'm not saying it about Yogi's great, but it's just the right.
Gutted for Yogi, you know,
Didn't
never
it work
worked
there,
it.
didn't it?
No, and he had good players there, and I mean Yogi, you know, the type of player he was, you know, he gave it everything. You know, it was all about grit, determination. God, if a few of his players had a 1% of that, they would have stayed up. They didn't show it, they didn't have the bottle. You look at the players they had in their side.
I know.
You know, good players. So
again, see when you're talking about the Championship too, Derek, see the games I did watch on the telly, I watched Dunfermline play Morton at home. And for me, Dunfermline played the best football that I'd seen in terms of possession, but then they never had that other side that Morton had, who were desperate to defend, desperate to win the game.
But that's Dougie.
And it tells you everything, you can do as much of that as you want.
Put his stamp on that side right away. What he is as a guy, what he was like as a player, you know, and they got that right away. I just wish Yogi had applied that on his side a wee bit more.
Yeah.
But he's got this philosophy, and right or wrong, he just wants to play. You know, and for a guy that was a big, honest guy, strong and all that, I mean, you can applaud him, but then, you know, you're talking about adapting. Sometimes you got to go and play another way. Get guys in that are going to just work their backside off and you know, give a wee bit of that blood and thunder. But
They started so well, Dunfermline, when he went in, Yogi, because we were talking this podcast, I think they won a couple of games, whatever.
big club, Dunfermline and all.
I
I can't believe they're there now.
Love playing at East End Park.
It's a decent
Isn't it?
stadium.
Great stadium.
Yeah.
So it was.
But again, like, his last 2 jobs, he's in staff. I don't know why he does that. I think if you're going to play that certain type of way, you need coaches who are bang on with your philosophy, how you want to play, how you want to coach it as well.
Yeah.
It's very hard if you're that single guy, we're going to play this, and you've got 2 coaches that don't want to coach it. It doesn't make sense to me.
Doesn't work. I don't know in the long term it won't work.
I know he should have been there with, I know Brian's at Alloa at the minute, Brian Rice. She had big Ricey beside him, because the two of them as a partnership,
Really
they're different class. So
Another appointment, Lee Johnson.
Do you know much about him?
Aidan,
he's really
I think
good,
Aidan
by
likes. I think he's a proper coach. He's
heard
on the
he's
training pitch.
I heard yesterday speaking to somebody about
the manager, they need not a proper coach, you need a manager.
I think he has got that side to him.
You need that, that's what they need. I mean, Sean Maloney's a top coach, and it never worked.
Yeah.
So you need a manager. That's what you need.
I was guilty of wanting him out of Sunderland because I wanted my team to get promoted, so I was kind of championing for him to get out because nothing was really changing. They were quite
So what was his
stale.
side like at Sunderland?
Well, I went down to watch Sunderland. They played Sheffield Wednesday that night, and they beat Sheffield Wednesday 5-0. And I came back and I think I tweeted something to say that great result for Sunderland, but fucking Sheffield Wednesday were brutal. So I couldn't take too much of it because I thought Sheffield Wednesday were that bad that you couldn't really see. But Sunderland fans wanted Lee Johnson out. It was just the same style of play all the time. But for me, I'd heard yesterday that he's been kind of over.
What was the style of
I don't know
play?
what it was. It just, I don't really know. I don't really know, to be honest, because I just, at that time, I hadn't been to a lot of the games, so I just wanted to, for me, I was jumping on the bandwagon.
Did the fans not like him?
No, I don't know, because he got into a position where they beat Sheffield Wednesday 5-0 just before New Year, and then they got to top of the league, 55 points, had a few games behind them to catch up and stuff, and you thought they could have went on and kicked on, and they didn't. They reverted back to being a wee bit more defensive minded. Every time they lost a goal, it seemed to be like everyone would crumble. And I don't know why that was. So maybe there was something there with him as a person. But by all accounts, I spoke to somebody yesterday who said that they knew him at Kilmarnock, and he said that he was one of these guys in England that had been kind of like pushed and fast-tracked to become a manager. So maybe that's through his dad, because obviously his dad was a great guy. I remember playing against some of his dad's team at Bristol City, and his dad was a great guy. So that's obviously something he's been determined to do. So on him getting the Hibs job, he must interview very well.
It's not an appointment that you go, oh, wow, what an appointment that is, so is it?
Aye, but what is it that he's done? What I want to know is, and I'd love to know, like, what is it that he said in the interview process? that just got
spoken in an American accent.
Maybe, and he's probably like he's obviously saying the right things. And he's got a great idea.
Buzz. I might have been in with a chance.
He's got a great idea of what he wants to do, but hopefully we'll see it at Hibs.
But looks like McGeady. It seemed McGeady liked, because McGeady played him at Eden, played him at Sunderland.
He spoke to him.
It'd be good to see it. No, I've not spoken to him actually, but it'd be good to see Eden back in the league.
There you go. I'm not just getting the couch back on. I not
Leave it unzipped, that looks good like that.
Better.
The collar sits good like that.
No, listen, it's like bang on the money. It'd be great to see Eden back in the SBL, wouldn't it?
Better get your arse off your seat.
It'd be brilliant to see
He'd
him back.
wage in 37, 36, 37.
I think Eden would suit an Easter Road crowd, do you know what I mean? They love that type of player, don't they?
How would he be though? If we did the podcast on Monday and we've watched him and started.
Oh, you're getting a phone call, mate.
If
you give anything, you're getting a phone call.
Is it?
Oh, 100%.
Aye.
Some man, honestly. Jack Ross, club face, criticism for how you sacked, done that. Aberdeen over something getting himself back competing in Europe. It's all going to be recruitment, isn't it, for Jim Goodwin?
Do you think that the likes of Jim Goodwin there, who's had a difficult start to his Aberdeen career, the breaks came at a good time, but he has a massive job in his hands, signing the right players to get the right system playing, and they have got to start straight away. Aberdeen don't start off well
for the fans.
The job.
He needs to get the fans on side, because already I think the fans they're not so sure already. You know.
I believe that Jim Goodwin can do
What's the main thing that he needs in that Aberdeen team?
I would have said like something like
easy, a win inside, innit? No, but it doesn't need to be.
But what do they need to make that win inside?
Well, you look at Jim's sides. Jim's it's no open and expansive football, so Aberdeen fans need to get real. You're not going to get that probably under Jim Goodwin, but you need to get back on track. And it's no losing games and winning games.
Need boys that
simple as
that pitch and dive.
They obviously let McInnes go, and McInnes was successful. You know, when you look at him, but they wanted a different brand of football. Bullshit. Just get a winning brand of football.
Fucking brilliant. That's
all you want, don't it? You want to see your team winning.
But then, see on that point, Derek, it's a great point. Aberdeen fans didn't like that under McInnes. Like just winning, getting to semi-finals, getting to cups. They want to change. So if Jim Goodwin goes in this season and starts off similar to what McInnes was doing and gets Aberdeen to semi-finals, gets them to finals of cups and things, that starts competing again. But playing unattractive football maybe. What's the Aberdeen fans going to want then?
Well, he'll have a shelf life, won't he? Like 2 or 3 seasons in, they want him.
But he's under pressure.
Right, I'll change the question. What positions on the pitch do they need to improve?
Am I right in saying Derek, the boy Ramirez up front scored about 18 goals or something this season? 16. So in terms of somebody score goals, they've got somebody.
He just won a half, didn't he?
Yeah.
Did he not just get him?
He just went him.
That's a great way you put that there. Because he just wandered off. He just wandered off away to America.
Don't need players like that.
He went and tried to get the Hibs job, didn't he?
I tried to get it.
Big American.
There's going to be question marks there that the boys well, you know. You're in a dressing room, you're in with the boys, you know, you don't just take it off. And I know you get family and other stuff's going on, but listen, you're paid to be a professional. Professionals to finish the season, and they should have been there.
But see, when you look at the actual squad of players, it's not a bad squad of players. You've got Bates, who's played with Rangers, Declan Gallagher, who's Motherwell captain, Calvin Ramsey, who's this next big thing, Ross McCrory played with Rangers, Lewis Ferguson, Johnny Hayes has played with Celtic. That's a good squad of players in the SPL now.
Bates and Gallagher didn't seem a good fit.
Really,
it's not a good fit. So that
maybe
needs
to, a lack of pace there.
That needs to change. They've got 2 young fullbacks, obviously. Ramsey, Montgomery.
Colin.
Who's the other one?
Colin Montgomery.
He's getting on.
That's the Celtic.
He's still
Who's the other one? The other. Is it Kent? No, Kennedy. What's it?
But he played at the start of the season, didn't he? He was playing in and out of
McKenzie, sorry, apologies for that. But so you've got 2 young boys, but they need 2 good, if they're going to play a back 4, you know, you need guys that are in there to get a good partnership. You know, and that partnership doesn't work. That needs to change. In the middle of the park, is McCrory going to play in there? I don't know. I've said to you before, I think McCrory's best position is where Ramsey plays.
Right back.
I think McCrory's a terrific right back. But he's that versatile, can go in there. But
what about centre half, Derek?
McCrory?
Aye.
I think he's in between. I think so.
I know he's aggressive.
Aye.
He's physical.
He's quick.
Aye.
Is he aggressive?
Aye, yes, aye.
He's aggressive
and
he's quick. But I'm not sure. I don't know what in there. He might struggle a wee tad.
Because sometimes you watch Bates, I think he's too rash. Gets too close, gets too tight, gets rolled a bit easy, makes rash decisions, and I'm just thinking maybe a calmer influence than Big Gallagher, maybe in with McCrory, somebody that can bit of pace, and like, I don't know.
But there's a lot of changes here. I mean, Jim's already made changes, you know, there's been a lot of guys went out the door, so it's just what you said earlier, it's massive.
They need to get the best out of Craig Brentford, don't they? They're playing him wide, I think he needs to
Get
play
him in the middle.
Craig Brown's top
Putting
man.
us on the touchdown.
Where do you think they need to improve?
But it's what you're saying that there's
Every department basically,
And
innit?
I'm seeing that team of players.
Joe Lewis, a good SPL, I know he's not had a great
They should be
season.
they shouldn't be doing anywhere near as bad.
No,
I mean,
that's
I
what
think
they're
to push maybe for third place and stuff and being a wee bit more quality or whatever, but it should be nowhere near the. I mean, they barely won a game since Goodwin's came in. Or I think they won one.
Quite
wasn't it?
scary.
That
So
is
a
scary.
3-1, they beat Hibs 3-1, I remember that. And then
I don't know what's
that's
going
the
on.
only game I can
But you need to go when you go to that
remember with
pitch.
any positivity.
You're going to say,
You need to go out and dive for the club.
all right, thanks Neil Warnock. You need to dive for 3 points. Is that what you're just going to say? You just need to go there and die.
I was watching this morning.
Just go out and die. We'll win.
As long as you die.
Oh, Simeone, what a
Do you watch
a
that
watch, mate.
documentary?
Brilliant.
How amazing is that, by the way?
He's the best in it.
Isn't he?
Uh-huh.
Wow.
You watched that? on
No,
Amazon?
I'm going to
Watch
watch
that.
it.
Everybody
It's
watch
good.
that.
Good, aye.
That was going
best
to be
I've
me this afternoon then.
Oh mate,
That's
it's
me.
unbelievable.
Pause in a
Amazon
route,
Prime.
pause in a route watching that one.
They'll be alright.
I'll be a stoner as well. I'll go the full whack by the way.
Right, last week, as we're going to go the best of the season. Are you want to do this, Paul?
Do you want me to take it now?
Aye.
Okay, no, I'll do it because you've been thinking about this.
Aye, okay.
Oh, is this the team of the right?
Who's the best? Who's
I
the
got
the
a text
season's
last
best?
night. Somebody told me I had to kind of brush up on my team of the season. So
It's no team of season, it's more just certain.
We're going to go to your team this
Who
season.
was the best signing?
or the best signing.
Charlie McGrew.
Kyogo through Hashi.
Fucking hell.
You got me, Charlie? Is that a pals act? Mark McGean Stratton.
I don't know.
United.
Pass.
You look big
United
dingus.
4. United 4.
I know, but Kyogo's he changed the
Missed
field.
3 months of the season.
That sums him up how good he was.
Right.
So you're going Kyogo, who are you going?
You look Stratton, you know.
He's
Pals act.
dingus, isn't he?
Right, because he has a friend of the show and he's got the best touch out of the lot is Charlie.
Yeah, there you go, so you agree?
Because he's an influence on the rest of the
100%.
boys. And there's a couple of the boys in there that have been terrific at Dundee United. And you could just imagine Charlie in the dressing room with him, couldn't you?
I could, mate.
Nah, no, listen, he's
So
a-
Big Dingus.
Big
best
dingus has
signing.
got it, aye. What you
Best signing,
Yeah,
Kev?
mate. Get it, Charlie.
I'm just trying to think of somebody outside the box. But
I've spoken to a lot of managers who've watched Dundee United and said, take Charlie, I know they'll take him in a minute.
They're even bringing him on for free kicks. They get a free kick. And
Listen, don't be
30
fooled.
yards for goal and
Charlie's a very
on.
good footballer. Don't be fooled.
Oh,
by
aye.
that.
Yeah.
And like you say, what you see on the
Influence
podcast
he's
here,
had.
Oh, we
he's,
saw
he's,
that at the
a, he's a
Highfield,
great
didn't
guy. I can only imagine he's an even better guy in the dressing room.
I spoke to a Scottish manager this.
And the interview's brilliant.
Oh,
Seen
he's
some of the
brilliant.
interviews.
And that's why I'm putting him in there. He's cut interviews that he's done have been sensational. Spoke to an
Legend.
SPL manager, who was it?
The legend.
I'm going to say right, and they wanted Charlie in the summer.
Yeah.
I was the manager I spoke to. That
This summer, you mean?
Yeah, this
Coming up?
summer coming up, I
Yeah.
wanted him. So, listen, maybe no say to him.
Where's the manager now? Soft blue.
He's been seen in there anyway. Aye.
Who's the season's worst signing, biggest
I
disappointment?
think Aaron Ramsey's side. I think he came, and it's not a Celtic Rangers and Kyogo Aaron Ramsey. I'm not meaning that, but he came with a massive name, massive player, and he's just not hit
It's
the
because
heights
he's a
at all.
superstar, isn't he? And we
I was
expect big
expecting.
things, but there comes a
It's very
time.
difficult, though, Derek, innit? When you see, no matter who you are, if you've not played for 6 months, the level Rangers players are at, we're talking about the fitness levels they're at, and they're competing for leagues. It's very difficult, no matter who you are, to get to their levels.
Aye.
And he
But
didn't get
even
there.
comes a time in
Well
your
said,
career.
man. Surprised you never said well said. there, that's facts,
Even
mate.
you get a time in your career when it just doesn't, it's not quite
going,
there.
yeah.
And it looks, because he has been a brilliant player. And at the time, I was excited. I went, wow, this is going to make the difference. And unfortunately, you know, listen, but hey, he's came there, he's tried, gave it his best shot, wasn't it? It didn't quite happen. And that's football.
See, if you offered him on a free transfer for Rangers next year, would you take him?
No, because I don't think it's worth it. You know, I think it's better just maybe part company. Even for him, you know, you could see him even the Scottish Cup with the celebrations. He just wasn't quite there. I think he's absolutely. He was devastated for Wednesday night in that European final. So, listen, fair play to him. He's came. He's been a Rangers player. The fans will still think him well, and you know, we just expected an explosion. It was going to be different gravy. But
It's just probably you're not signing
Aye,
Aaron Ramsey 5 years ago, do you know what I mean?
And the only explosion we got was 3 year boys.
I think that
Watching Simone documentary.
I think the Diallo boy was a pretty
That was a bad one.
He came in, scored in his debut up at Ross County and never heard him again.
There's another one, Man United have signed well with him, isn't there?
17
Great
million.
recruitment again for that club. Wow.
He's come up here and done nothing.
Any other ones we can think about?
A signing.
Mueller must be up there. He was highest ever player. I think he was brought in to replace Martin Boyle.
Done well, didn't he? Like a replacement.
That's up there, isn't it? Mueller.
Miller's up there, aye.
Yeah.
Miller's definitely up there.
Best managerial appointment, it's got to be Big Ange, isn't it?
That's Ange all day long.
We're Celtic were at the end of last season.
Big Ange. Definitely.
Incredible Ange.
I know.
I didn't expect Celtic to win the league. You know, and you got to tip your cap to him. You know, the players that he brought. Anyway, I'll tip my cap to him. But he did. I didn't expect to turn around.
Because it was so outside the box as well. That's
and
why
I just thought when we got up, Rangers got off to a good start. I thought we've got it in the bag. I'll be honest with you. You know, and I thought it was going to take him time, but no, he's worked a miracle.
Mate, lesser guys would have crumbled after that start.
And you talked about we're talking about Big Yogi about you need your own staff. He didn't have his own staff, so fair play to him. So aye, and sometimes you've got to acknowledge that.
Yeah.
So you have.
He's been a breath of fresh air for Scottish football.
Worst managerial appointment.
It's only this one guy.
Is it a wee fella?
Fucking
No,
dingus.
he's freezing and he's
sitting there. No, he's hungry.
Charlie,
he's leaving it.
He's frozen. He's fucking starving. Life's shit. Just to know where to turn to.
Is this you or Mark McGee you're talking about?
I was talking about you when you walked through the doors this morning.
Aye, McGee.
Mark McGee.
The worst interview was when he said, I told the boys we're not going to win a lot of games this season. When I first came in.
Fair play to him, but innit? That's brilliant for him, though. That's a shambles. You've lost the decision right away, ain't you, with that?
I think even Mark McGee taking the job knowing that he's got a 6-game ban. You know, come on.
Crazy.
Aye, daft.
And the fact that he was the guy who was his assistant, it was flipped the last job, but he was his assistant.
It was strange all round. So it was, and you said it earlier, Dundee fans should be absolutely getting after their nut.
Fuming. What player surprised you the most with the performances?
Oof.
That's a good
Bassey.
Aye.
Bassey.
Never thought he could get to that level.
Never thought he'd get to that level. No chance. Not at the beginning of the season because he was in and out, bit part here, bit part there. Because at the time Rangers had, what do you call it, Barisic at left back. They had Balogun and Goldson, Tav, or it would be Goldson and maybe Big Hollander when he was fit. And Bassey would come in every now and then. And I think that night when Celtic beat them 3-0, Bassey was. Did Bassey play in the middle or whatever, and then they brought on Balogun at half time or something and jigged it about, and I thought that night that made them a lot stronger defensively. And ever since that night I think that he's just kicked on.
Andy Halliday.
Right, wow, good answer.
And the reason being because I watched Andy in the Championship.
Yeah.
And like a few of the other guys, I hope he doesn't mind me saying this, I thought he was just kind of plodding away.
Yeah.
And I couldn't see the kind of bit of that wee bit of zest in him. But by God, see since Christmas.
No, he's had a great last.
He's been different. He's been different class.
He scored the right few goals, by the way.
Aye, great.
Big goals as well, big games
as well. So, where's that came from? Whatever
the thing is though,
whatever he's got, bottle up and
keep it.
You can. David,
last year he was plodding away in the Championship. He's brilliant on this. Been brilliant on the pitch. He's been plodding away on here for the last fucking. It's shocking.
But honestly, that's see when you because something it's an unusual one. Most players don't surprise me because you know they've got that in them. But I looked at Andy and I thought, you know, is he just kind of going to tail off his career? Bang. And he's been back at it.
Yeah, 2-year deal.
50
quid a week. Fair play.
Good on for that.
Playing really well. Yeah. So where did that come from? That's again. For you as well, you should. There you go.
The character the boy has.
That's it.
Charles Cook.
I was going to say Charles.
Oh, by the way,
incredible. Nobody knew anything about him and the goals he's scored.
What was it? 14 in the league or something?
Yeah.
I think something round about that side. And Plymouth Ross County as well. You know what I mean? He scored that many goals.
I think it's 13, isn't it?
13. I was going to say 13. At one stage he was 13 and scored.
I think he's 13. Would that be right?
That's unbelievable in a team like Ross County. Has that ever been done where a Ross County player's been up there with top goal scorer?
Well, I think the closest ever come to that would have been maybe Connor Salmon with Kilmarnock.
Like a lesser club.
So like a club that's maybe not supposed to be up there.
Yeah.
But no, I think that's
a great
shout. How would you call him, Malky Mackay coming in and did what he did.
I'm going to put one for you, and it's the winner, Tony Ralston.
It's a good shout.
So known at St Johnstone, never hardly played.
Yeah.
Dundee United wasn't great.
Looked like he was heading out the door for Celtic.
100%. You never thought Tony Ralston would come and play the part.
And now he's reliable. He's reliable.
Need to give him a lot of credit.
Aye, definitely. He picked in the Scotland squad recently.
Yeah.
Aye, fair play for that as well, because I don't think he's been picked up too often.
I never thought he'd get to the levels, and to be completely honest, he's been really good. What team surprised you the most?
I think Ross County.
Ross County, I'd say.
I mean, I tipped them to go down. Just with previous that new manager coming in, you don't know how it's going to go, but by God, were they good.
I would say.
What did you like about them?
How did the front three were allowed to go and express themselves?
So who's that front there?
Humble, Charles Cook, and the big boy White up front.
Good ball! On the spot, and you done it.
Listen, the big boy White didn't really get bums that I've seen, but the other two did. He's there for the score goals, the big man. Receive the ball up, hold it up.
And then just go and play off.
Go and play, and Malcolm Mackay's been known to sit in, defend and stuff long. Anything
big athletic boys, weren't they? The big strong team. I'm going to go with a Broth.
Good
amazing. See at the start, part-timers,
Brilliant.
you know, and what they achieved throughout that season. I watched them the first game of the season against, they were at home to Inverness, and they were the best side, and they ran away from Inverness the last half hour, and I'm like that, going, what's the part-timers? How's that happening? And I just thought at certain parts of the season, they're going to fall away, but they kicked on and Dick Campbell, what a man. So I would, they were the kind of team that surprised me. I didn't think they could sustain that all season, and they did. Yeah. So they did.
I thought Livy. Purely the fact that they're quite dogged normally, but this year I think they played a bit more football.
Good.
You're right.
I think they played far more football. I think Davey brought in some good signings. They played to their strengths as per usual, got some big results against, I'm sure it was against Celtic a few times at Almonvale, Almonvale, what's it called?
It changes all the time.
And for them to lose a 93rd minute to go into the bottom six, they deserve that top six. And I think that some good players in James Forsberg, Allen, I think he's done well.
Forrest has been brilliant.
He's obviously going to get a move. Pittman's been good.
In the middle of the park.
Slaney's mate Devlin. How did he go on yesterday wedding?
How did his wedding?
What a day.
What did you wear? You got asked to be best man.
Best man,
page boy?
I was the only guy that didn't wear. No, I was the only guy that wore pants. The rest didn't.
But did you wear a kilt?
Aye, I had a kilt and didn't wear knickers. No, I wore knickers. The rest didn't.
Right.
That tells it. It's in the story, doesn't it?
Why?
Tell it in the story that. You know exactly why.
When did it start growing?
10-year-old, wasn't it?
10-year-old.
10. Listen, good on him.
So why did you not be best man?
A wee boy was, his wee son. Wee Josh.
Cute.
He done one of the greatest speeches in history.
Who the wee boy did?
I was hoping maybe go a wee bit.
It's
just so I felt better with myself. The wee man was brilliant. What a lovely day his dad was.
The wee man was brilliant, was he?
He had to sell quiet, that's for sure. No, it was a great day his dad. Charlie Devlin ruined it slightly. No, a lovely day. Wee Forrest, not was it?
What's his wife's name? Is it
Lauren? Beautiful. Right, she was absolutely stunning. She was absolutely stunning.
What were you going to say? She was flirty or so? Getting your eye contact.
The strange when she walked down the aisle, she was getting a wee look at me. I said, I know the right time. No, listen, I couldn't get a better family site. I met old foes of mine, friends, foes and friends, with Alan Forrest, guys like that.
Good player.
So,
a great day. Who was the foes?
No, it wasn't foes. I thought foes was friends, but I realised free say friends and foes. Sorry, but no, it was a lovely day.
Nicky Devlin's had a great season as well.
Aye.
Excellent. Aye.
I think he's good enough to quit the top. Aye. He's quick, strong, a leader on the pitch. I think he could go the way to the top. Surprised.
Wait, he could go. Jim Goodwin, if you're in Aberdeen, Ramsey goes, you're taking him in a minute.
I think he's 28. Running about 28, and I think you're spot on. So I think that's his next move would be that sort of. I don't know, Aberdeen have fell below Livingston and stuff, but that's the sort of size of club. And then he goes there, I tell you, he could go again.
I see him like a Chris Cadden type.
Better, as a leader. Cadden's more higher up the pitch, maybe.
You're right, he's get better.
No, Cadden's
at Ayr United, you know, I watched him at Ayr.
You've asked Cadden to come on the podcast and there's no chance.
Better.
Sorry, mate.
I know, he was good at Ayr. I watched him, but he's kicked on again. And you just wonder if he went to one of the bigger so-called teams.
That's a good point. Simon makes if Ramsey goes to Aberdeen, that's a good really.
He'd be Jim Goodwin's type, wouldn't he?
Jim Goodwin's type, reliable, strong, does everything you want Arsenal to do, helps the rest of the boys with experience.
I don't know how much you would get. I think they'll struggle to get him.
Well, for Livy, you'd be getting big money there, boy.
No, but I mean for Livingston to accept. Because he's got a year left, and I just can't. I mean, captain of the club, Jim. I don't know how much you would need to pay for I don't know. So I think that'd be.
But if they get a few quid for Ramsey, then could use it.
I know. That's a great shout. Aye.
Will he go this summer, Ramsey? Do you think?
I think Aberdeen like him to go.
Yeah.
They need the money. Don't they, big time. So
He seems like the type of boy to me as well that would fancy himself going higher straight away.
He's still got a lot to learn.
Yeah.
The boy, you've heard me saying
It's
it
a
often.
defender, innit?
Aye, oh God, he's only a youngster. And he's a good player, but he's still got a lot to learn. But listen, if you get offered 4 or 5 million for him, you snap it up, don't you?
When you say Andy's not here, he's obviously winning his holiday fortnight in Newcastle with Davy Martindale and Hugh Keevans.
Aye.
Oh, that's
I'm
right.
glad they
That's
invited
Bobby
David.
Madden for that
Gordon
pink
Duncan
whistle.
joining the bus.
I'm glad
He's driving him down.
I hope he's driving there. What's Gordon Duncan doing?
Oh, that's his pal as well, isn't it?
Aye, what's he doing, me Gordon?
Yeah,
He's getting a bit jealous.
him and Keevans and that.
No, we went out. We're trying to force him
yeah,
out.
Trying
Trying to get him out.
He's trying to bring Clydeman onto the podcast, and we were like, no, we'll just push you back further into Clydeman.
Best game.
Again, I'm going to say it, and I feel that all I'm doing is
That's what I'm
Celtic.
saying.
I think it was a 3-0 Celtic.
So that was your best
It
game.
was one of the most special nights because the fans had been starved side for so long.
My worst.
That game. Aye, it was. So I don't want it. I really don't. I mean, as I say, when you're getting offers for big companies to go and you can't constantly be sort of going one side. Do you know what I mean? What am I? So I need to be sort of.
What company is it?
So you're cutting a bit.
VIP 45, innit?
The fastest to come in.
Aye. Yeah.
Is that a shit to come in?
Fastest to come in. Of course, isn't he doing it?
Is he not producing?
Struggling. No, with the thong, no what to No, no what to wear the thong anymore. Did you think you like to run onto that? Do whatever they anymore.
It's been working hard, I know.
Has you been hiding the thong? Did you take it to Seville with you? Durant
I did, aye. I own his yacht. See his yacht?
On the quad.
That's a yacht, Durant. It's massive.
A yacht?
Aye.
Is it?
Did you wear thongs on the quad? No.
Your arms sticking to the seat because it's so hot.
That
noise
was
at
Stop him, I was what about that?
Hey, no, sorry, I was saying
Dortmund.
You
The
go
Dortmund.
Oh,
yeah,
fuck, we go to Europe as well? Oh, no, sorry.
Oh, aye. Yeah, come on.
Paul, you can't talk about any Celtic games, didn't you?
Oh, no, well, I think the Dortmund.
Dortmund for
Aye,
me, because when that
Dortmund
draw
game
was
was-
made, I thought,
Dortmund away, I think you're right.
I thought, listen, let's put up a good performance, and just try and hold our reign, but to see them off,
Yeah.
that is-
so that for me, the Dortmund
I would
game.
say,
I
I
thought just
would
league
say
one,
like that, either Dortmund one or the Leipzig at home one.
It was,
Aye, we came out flying down.
Oh, yeah, Rangers were good.
Dundee Neil St Mirren won. That was my
It's a
favourite.
cracker.
It was a good game.
Exactly what Dingus wanted, wasn't it? Game plan worked. to
Best
perfection.
moment? It's got to be something you've done that.
Best
I
moment?
thought you bitching Jamie Mahara was my favourite moment of the season.
The
Wee mushroom.
meat.
The meatball.
that's it. The beef.
That was brilliant. You got
What I
my face.
like.
You see that now?
no,
No, watch it now.
Best moment. Best
I was
moment.
like, best moment. I'm going, get a few best.
You with
What's
that-
one that's
it's got to be you with that. You with that German.
You big beer off.
I'm asking back years. Come on.
That's my favourite moment.
That is my favourite moment live.
That day, when
Oh,
you
the
was my
day,
favourite
alright.
moment.
You were genius that day.
You were on fire, man.
That was a few Guinnesses were involved in that day, which was lovely.
Aye, but
to be
it's,
honest.
so that would be my favourite moment. The way you just struck that up, but I would say overall in the football, Kev, what you
I
think?
can't think of any highlights in Scottish football this season that have been that. The best one was probably just fucking filming you coming out of that shower at SWGC.
That was good.
Left arse in the house, didn't I?
Aye. You found your arse since then?
No,
The siggiest arse I've ever seen.
an old guy's arse in it.
It was, wasn't it?
20-year-old body. That was good when that went up. Felt good after that went up. It's a good day that.
Right, we're on questions for the summer. Will Jota and Carter Vickers sign for Celtic permanently?
Yes.
Got to,
Get you-
definitely.
No
We've got to
brainer.
get Carter Vickers signed up. He's
Said
been
it before. I heard
excellent.
Michael Stewart saying about 2 months ago, no, you would go and get somebody better. For 6
Then who?
months, Carter Vickers.
No, disagree with
No
that.
brainer, Carter Vickers.
Carter Vickers been
I've also
Very
been
good.
pulled up for saying the Lundstrom was shite part, but there's a few people on this podcast said at the start of Caesar Starfield and Carter Vickers were never good enough for Celtic, but hey ho. Not going to name names. Hey ho.
Listen, I've still
Who
got.
said that?
I never said
Was
that.
it you or me?
A few, it was after a certain podcast, it was a guest appearance for somebody that week, and there was a few.
I love CV, but listen, I'll tell you now, I've still got my closet for Starfield. I'll keep them out.
I'll be honest with you, and I'm quite happy to say I'm still not convinced with Starfield.
No?
Listen, people can have a go and say, well. I've seen enough in that boy that when he plays very well, fair play. But for me, see with Vickers, every week it's the same. Every week, steady, comfortable, controlled. Sometimes with Starfelt, for me, there's a mistake in there. There's a bit of rashness, and that's what worries me.
All right, what's your opinion?
Julian,
the fact that he's Julian, who was bought for what, £9 million, can't get anywhere near it.
But
Julian, I think they'll bring somebody else in.
Fuck's sake, Simon, what does money mean?
know, but
Tony
everyone
Andrew
thought
was signed for £13 million for Sunderland.
But everyone
I came
thought
to
Julian
fucking
was
Dog
brilliant.
and don't get a game before him. It means nothing.
When did you play? What was that, at Sunderland?
Tony Andrew broke in for £13 million in January, and that was the one that finished the season. Money means nothing.
No, but I'm saying Julian had done well at Celtic in the past and he couldn't
Big Julie was injured.
No, but he's back for the last 4
I know,
months
but
of
he's
the
obviously
season.
not. He listened to what he's saying in the paper. He wants away.
Because he can't get in. Because
he
Starfield's done so well.
I know, but listen, I still think
I think
so.
so, but a centre-half.
I think they'll go and get a centre-half. Who would you like to see as a centre-half?
Carter Vickers.
No, but
Another
another
one.
one. I think
But you think they're going to pay more money?
I left it.
Say
Charlie, innit?
Big dingus.
Big dingus.
Jota as well, no brainer.
No brainer. Brilliant. I think, but he was flying. He was really flying at one point. Wasn't he? He's maybe sort of dipped a wee bit. The later in the season, he's came sort of back to that. He's a fantastic player, Simon.
Right, Celtic players from this season will be the starting 11 of their first Champions League game. Great question.
It's a fantastic question.
Hart.
Juranovic will be.
Juranovic, McGregor, Atati, Kyogo, and potentially
Mida.
Jota.
Jota.
What about Turnbull? I think he'll get a starting place.
I think Ange likes him.
I saw the argument of
And the Europe-
injury problem.
Yep.
Listen, I think Turnbull's brilliant. I think he's the ability, but I think the European games where you're only going to have as much of the ball because these teams are very good doing it.
O'Reilly will
might
play.
have a wee look.
O'Reilly play because I think what he gives you in energy, also the quality he's got in that left foot. But I think genuinely you'll see Celtic maybe go for 4 or 5 players this summer.
I think so. Starters as well.
Yep, 4 or 5, maybe even 5, 6.
I think that was the thing, Kev. In Europe, you kind of see when Rogic and Turnbull played together. It's difficult in Europe with that, isn't it?
Celtic after what they've done this year, winning that league and getting this Champions League place, right? Every other season's never been like this, where you win the league and straight in. Celtic's performances in Europe over the last lot of years have been terrible. They've got to be at it.
Yeah, 100%.
And you've got to go and get players to because what your rivals have just done in Europe.
It's no excuse.
No excuse.
Yeah. Rangers contract, out of contract players, will any of them stay? We've kind of spoke about it a wee bit, but just a yes or no. McGregor?
I think McGregor, it looks like McGregor might retire.
Right.
Goulson, I think he's played his last game. Davis, because I think Davis, like you, I think he's still a top player, and I think he's still got enough in the tank to go and play.
But will he?
No, I don't think he will. No, and
so all 3 away?
I think all 3 will be away. Yep.
You going all 3 away, Kev?
I don't know. I know Goldson will definitely go. McGregor, I'm not sure because I've not really seen too much of his goodbye thing on Saturday. I know some coming on with 2 minutes to go. But Davis, I just think Davis would be, if he doesn't want to, I think he'd be a great guy to hear in the club.
Aye. Oh, a shadow of doubt.
And I think he can still play. Because I think if you look at the course of the distance this season, Derek, some of the games where Rangers need somebody just to come on, settle the game down, keep the ball moving. He fits that role perfectly.
I think he'd have been on money where he was a starter. Van Bronckhorst will probably look at it and go, can I give you that same wage to be a...
And I think Davis can still play, Derek. He can still play. And then I think for me, as good as him, and he is fit. So I don't think you want to sort of come after that. I think you near the end of his career would like to play with somebody.
Aye. That's the only thing I'm thinking about because he's still fit. You look at the caps he said. He's still playing with Northern Ireland. Fit as a fiddle, great ambassador, great about the club.
He never looks like he's one of the guys ever that gets frustrated with people like that. Do you know when people have played at a level and they come back and you never see him.
There's one thing I'm not going to say. For the first time, I did notice that he was getting a little bit frustrated with players.
Forget that point then.
I know, because I did see it, which was dead unusual for Steve Davis. Getting a wee bit of that and getting angry, which I'd never seen that before. No. So I'm saying that's maybe the wee bit of frustration. Not enough game time.
Yeah.
He wants to
see if he retires. See if he does retire, we'll get him on the podcast.
Oh, I'd love him on.
I'd love him on here.
Love to pick his brain. Calvin Bassey stay at Rangers, yes or no?
Oh, aye.
Yes.
Calvin Bassey will stay.
A bit to develop as well. He's been brilliant. He's get better and better. But he can get even better, and the best place for me, stay at Rangers.
It all depends on what comes in.
Aye.
If there's big offers come in, and the club behind the scenes maybe need to look at it and think, like, okay, do we take 25 million for this kid now that puts it to Giovanni's war chest to try and gain us into Champions League to make 60, 70 million, you've got to look at that.
But do you lose that player, that player who's been different? Say runs that left
Well,
side.
for me, I'm thinking if you could
Plays in
hold
a
on
couple
to
of
Calvin
positions.
Bassey for one more season, you've done amazing. Because I think if he starts the season and he finishes, he's definitely off.
Because is Haaland and Balogun still there for next season?
God, I'm not sure.
But with the injuries and stuff that Haalander's
I
had,
don't know the ins and outs.
You can't rely
on that.
Haaland, I don't think Haaland will be there.
No.
No. Can't see that
Back to
Balogun.
Sweden.
Back to Sweden.
Right, which current Premiership manager won't be in their usual dugout at the start of the season? Good question.
Which current?
Well, we know Dingus is away in it, so
Current Premiership.
he's down to
manager
Championship.
won't be in their usual dugout at the start of the season.
So will anyone get? Are we saying will anyone get sacked for now then to start the season?
Sacked or leave.
Sacked or leave?
Or taken by another club.
Or taken by another club? Good.
Too much thinking that. That's like,
The only thing personally I would put into that category would be maybe possibly Callum Davidson. I'm thinking he's got Cox at Johnson 2 cups, got them to stay up. Does he then maybe walk away and take a break for a while, or does he then look at that and think, you know what,
Want to kick on now?
I want to kick on and get this team back to. So there's a wee question there. Very unlikely. Very unlikely.
Tam Court's linked with teams in England. Will he be at Dundee United?
No way.
He is. He's been linked.
Right, let's just.
done well. Speaks very well, that young man. So he does. Davison's an interesting man, isn't it?
I think he'll be there.
I thought he even says it the other night. He's learned so much more this season than he did winning the 2 cups. Made him a better manager. He looks, to me, he looks like a Derek McInnes, a safe pair of hands. Yeah. So he does.
Not a bad shout. Will Dale be at Kelly? Will a bigger team be coming?
Well, there you go. I'm surprised that Derek McInnes is at Kelly. Kelly have won a watch, by the way. I thought Derek would have ended up down in England somewhere.
Are we talking here in general about like managers from all over Scotland maybe moving about?
I think initially it was the Premiership, but Davison's the one. It's a kind of intriguing one, isn't it?
So see on the Dundee you talked about, what do you call him, Sean Maloney and Jack Ross. Is Kevin Thomas in the run for that? Having been
No, I think it's down to the last two.
Is it
Maloney and Jack Ross who are registered.
I would love to see Maloney having another shot in it, because I heard, speaking to Hibs players, that he was an unbelievable coach and an incredible coach. The stuff he done blew their mind.
But you need a manager.
Yeah, so you want to see, so we just want to see him having a wee crack.
But Dundee in the Championship, keeping most of their squad, does that suit Sean Maloney to bring them back up and then kick on for there? It's a tough one, isn't it?
I'm not so sure. That's how I'd always
just always asking the question, but it's
just that type of football in the Championship. You say you've watched a few, you thought,
there's not going to be much
cup of tea.
Do you know what
Charlie's on it?
Aye,
that's right.
Well, anyway, it's been a roller coaster season.
well done, thanks very much for the season. It's my last one, innit?
Who you again man of the match then?
I'm going to give Dale again. He's balls were outstanding today, weren't they?
What
a
boy.
The cheesecloth.
A cheesecloth, a black version.
Always wins it.
Been amazing.
When are we hearing a proper night out?
Fucking no.
Future
No,
squad.
for a couple of months for me.
You'll know about it for a while. You'll know about it for a while.
Of course so. Weekends, any weekend I'm free.
A wee Sunday sesh.
I do like Sundays. I'll come out for a couple. And that's all I need.
Sensational.
I need a couple, by the way.